When a distributor is given the task of getting audience attention for a film, they sign an agreement with the producer, sales agent, or studio for the film, which then gives them the right to release it in UK cinemas and promote it in media. To do this effectively, they create a marketing plan with the objective of creating visibility, raising awareness, and engaging interest to the highest possible level in order to overcome competing messages. This is a difficult task as they must compete not only against other distributors, but also against other leisure activities in general, which are all appealing to the same public. Therefore, audiences need to be reached in interesting and persuasive ways to convince them it is a must-see film. So by having a number of publicity methods and advertisements, it's possible to reach a wider audience, especially as different methods may influence different members of that audience to see the film. However, to be able to reach their target audience as frequently as possible, the campaign needs to also be as cost-effective as possible. These campaigns are generally effective as most people know which film they want to see before they arrive at the cinema. Media proliferation and fragmentation has given all advertisers a huge number of options. The UK has approximately 250,000 poster sites at the roadside or by railway platforms, thousands of local media outlets, and hundreds of TV channels where advertising may be placed. However, now people have grown accustomed to using media, how, when, and where they wish. Advertising has changed dramatically, and as mentioned before, different audiences react to different advertising. This is important to keep in mind when designing my products. The main target audience for my film would be teenagers and young adults, as more than half of this age group in the UK visit the cinema at least once a month. Therefore, they will see more trailers and should be more likely to react to them. Because of this, we had to ensure the content of our trailer was not higher than a 15, otherwise it wouldn't have been possible to show it in 15 certificate films, and we would miss out advertising to our key target audience. Other mediums that are likely to influence young people are websites and posters. As I am in this age group, it helped to also think of what would influence me, which was posters and trailers, and then information on the internet linked to these things. If made into a real film, my group's idea may have been best marketed as a viral campaign. This could have worked well for us because not only is the internet used as a source of information for our target audience, but also because it would have given us the chance to make the events of our film appear real. For this campaign, we would have begun by releasing images, video clips, and snippets of information on an official site and other ones like Facebook and YouTube. This would have people talking about the film long before its release and would pave the way for posters and trailers closer to the release date. For each film, a variety of complementary media products are produced. One of the most important products is the trailer, which is probably the most cost-effective marketing technique. Although full trailers are shown shortly before our film's release, they are often preceded by early teasers which are 30 to 90 seconds in length. For a wide release, 3,000 copies will often be circulated to cinemas. Then they will also be played on TV, added to DVDs, and uploaded online, where they are the web's most searched for content. So as these are likely to be seen by a large amount of the target audience, they need to include a representative glimpse of the best bits of the film. Our trailer is 1 minute and 42 seconds long, which is slightly longer than a teaser trailer, however it has teaser elements. For example, the writing at the start reveals some of the narrative, but perhaps not enough to consider it a full trailer. This idea to have writing at the beginning was influenced by the Blair Witch Project, which is one of the trailers we looked at in detail. The first shot using footage establishes who the characters are without giving away anything about them. This keeps the audience guessing as to what will happen. As is seen on the intertitles, we used glitches because we wanted to create a sense of interference, which possibly hints at something supernatural or otherworldly. The second footage shot begins to establish who the protagonist will be, as he is the only one who speaks. This gives the audience a point of identification. The third shot of the police tape again adds mystery. Why were the police here? We included only this one shot of police activity because we didn't want to give too much away about what had happened previously in the teaser trailer. The intertitle, "When You Go Somewhere You Shouldn't," helps to build up the idea that things are starting to go wrong. This is supported by David's scream in the following shot. The next shot, when the characters run towards David and put the camera down, is the moment the audience learns a little more about the specific genre of the film and who the monster will be. After this is a shot of a character running with a heartbeat in the background. This puts the audience in the confused and scared perspective of the character, which helps to build their interest. The following shots of a foot coming down and people running start to really build the tension without revealing to the audience why they should be feeling tense, which makes it all the more unnerving. Following this are 6 very quick shots that bring the tension to a peak, because the audience can't really see what they are. They just get the impression of blood and fear. The penultimate shot of the trailer is a close-up of Jake crying, which helps to leave the audience with someone to identify with, so they don't feel detached from what's happening, as this could lead them to not caring. The final shot is supposed to make the audience jump and leave them feeling that the film will be scary and worth seeing. Another complementary media product is the poster. This may well be seen before the trailer for a film, as they are sometimes released many months in advance, and therefore they need to be clearly linked to the film. The poster will usually show the stars, the credits, the genre, and a tagline that usually becomes synonymous with the film. These posters are generally shown in cinema foyers, however there can be 10 or more on display at any one time, so they need to grab attention. I feel my poster works well with my trailer for several reasons. First of all, I used a photo of David because he is clearly introduced in the trailer as the monster, and I therefore wanted him to be the image associated with the film. I used a dark shot because David is supposed to look mysterious and dangerous, and a close-up as this forces the audience to look the monster in the face and fear him. To start with, I tried using David's face as a whole for the poster image. However, I felt it was more effective when only half of it was seen, as it made it more interesting and more fitting for the horror genre. For the film title, I used a font called Mum's Typewriter, as it made the writing look bold and official, like the kind of writing used in a police report, which links to the start of the trailer. I used a bark texture behind the writing because it adds more depth and hints at the setting of the film. I used a black background on my poster because it made the images I'm writing stand out and made everything look darker in general. The tagline on my poster, "Every year 1.2 million people go camping, not all of them come back again," relates to my trailer because the characters in it are camping and we are told at the beginning they went missing. It also goes with the photo on the poster because it implies the disappearances has something to do with David without revealing what it is. I added the names of the stars to the top of the poster as some people go to see a film simply because of who are in it, so this may help to generate interest. At the bottom of the poster is a billing block which is consistent with the information given in the trailer and helps to establish a link between the two. Editorial coverage of a film can be very persuasive because it's not paid for in the way that advertising is. However, because it's not paid for, there is heavy competition and it can't be guaranteed that the publicity will be positive. A distributor's publicity team will try to gain positive publicity by arranging media interviews with the available members of the film's cast. They do this because many channels and outlets are interested in entertainment news and features, and therefore the more the film's talent is able to support the publicity effort, the better. Publicists also compile press kits for the journalists that contain cast and crew lists, biographies, notable facts about the production, and a synopsis. Furthermore, they hire a unit photographer to take a selection of photographs during production to be used for publicity. All these materials are released via online press rooms, and the distributors try to devise hooks or angles to be used for the media promotion of the film. I feel my magazine cover also works well with my trailer. However, this time it works because I used Jake's image, and he's the point of identification in the trailer. Unlike the poster, I made Jake's image light because he is supposed to be the victim, not the monster, and he needs to stand out and grab attention for the cover. I used a medium shot for this because as the main image he needed to draw the eye while still causing the audience to identify with him. I added the name of the film and some information about the feature onto the main image because this helps to create a link between the two and lets the audience know what they are buying. I called my magazine Screen because it's a one-word punchy title which I feel is more memorable than something longer. In the background I used a photo of the forest because, like the bark on the poster, it gives more information about the setting of the film. I blurred this photo because I wanted the writing and other images to stand out against it. At the top of the cover I added a photo and a line of writing as this helps to support the idea that the magazine contains lots of film stories and not just one about Braden Forest. Further to this I added images and film titles down the right side to support the magazine status as an actual film magazine and therefore make it look more genuine. This is supported further by the writing along the bottom which lists some of the article topics inside the magazine. I included the website address on the cover because for magazines to survive in the modern world they need to have a presence online. In the bottom right corner is a barcode, price and date information which again helps the magazine to look genuine. Both my poster and magazine cover complement my trailer in terms of content and where applicable design. For instance, my poster is more similar in design because it would have been made by the distribution team, whereas the magazine cover would have been made by the magazine itself and therefore wouldn't necessarily need to be similar. However, they do both support the trailer by having similar images and consistent names of characters, actors, directors, etc.